My name was Arav Mehta. Engineering student. Quiet. Obedient son. Newly married. Perfect boy. Empty man. The wedding had happened too fast. Families decided. Dates fixed. Smiles rehearsed. I had stood beside Nina in Sherwani and Sarah, sweating under lights and expectations. She was beautiful. Confident. Fierce in a way that made rooms tilt toward her. It was not. Everyone said I was lucky. No one asked if I was ready. 3 weeks into marriage, Nina found the box. It was hidden beneath old textbooks in my suitcase, wrapped in newspaper tucked like contraband. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She just called my name softly. Arav, what is this? Inside were things I had never dared to fully wear. A silk dupatta. A cheap lipstick. Glass bangles. A salwar kameez I had bought online at 2 a.m., hands shaking. I had never worn it outside my locked hostel room. Never in front of anyone. But I had imagined it. Too often. I couldn't meet her eyes. I don't know why I keep it, I whispered. That was the first lie. She didn't shout. She didn't accuse. Instead, she sat on the bed and studied me like a puzzle. You want to be her, she said calmly. The word her landed like a stone in my stomach. No. Another lie. She stood, picked up the dupatta and walked toward me. Look at me, Arav. I did. There was no disgust in her eyes. Only something sharper. Curiosity. Control. Wear it. What? If it's meaningless, prove it. My heart hammered so loudly I thought she could hear it. I can't. She tilted her head. Or you won't. That night, I wrapped the dupatta around my shoulders for the first time in front of someone else. My wife watched. And something shifted between us. Not disgust. Not love. Power. When I looked in the mirror, draped in soft fabric, I didn't see a joke. I saw relief. Nina saw it too. Her lips curved slowly. There she is. My breath stopped. She stepped behind me, adjusted the cloth gently, then whispered near my ear. If this is your truth, Arav, then why are you hiding from it? I had no answer. Because the truth was dangerous. The truth could destroy everything. And she knew it. Stand straight. Her voice was firm now. Different from before. We were in the bedroom. Door locked. She had placed the salwar kameez on the bed. Pink. Soft. Terrifying. You said you wanted honesty, she reminded me. This is honesty. I swallowed. I never said I wanted to be. She raised an eyebrow. Finish that sentence. I couldn't. Because every time she called me her, something inside me warmed. And I hated that. Take off your shirt, she said calmly. Humiliation burned my skin. But I obeyed. Not because she forced me. Because I was afraid of what would happen if I didn't. She helped me into the kameez. Her hands were steady. Clinical. Almost gentle. But her eyes, they watched every tremor in me. When she stepped back, I barely recognized myself. My shoulders looked narrower. My movements smaller. Vulnerable. She handed me the bangles. Put them on. The soft clinking sound echoed in the room. I felt exposed. Ridiculous. And strangely, right. Walk, she instructed. In this. Yes. Show me. I took a step. Awkward. She laughed softly. Too stiff. Relax your hips. Heat rushed to my face. I don't know how. She came closer, placing her hands on my waist. Then learn. She guided my movement. Slow. Measured. Intimate. It wasn't sexual. It was instructional. Like she was molding clay. And I was letting her. After an hour I was exhausted. Emotionally stripped. She stood before me assessing her work. You look pretty, she said quietly. The word hit harder than any insult. Pretty. My chest tightened. I should have rejected it. I felt something bloom. And that scared me more than anything. That night she made me sleep in the salwar. No changing back, she said. Not yet. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. The fabric brushed my legs differently. The bangles pressed against my wrist. I felt exposed. Fragile. For the first time in my life. I wasn't pretending to be strong. And that honesty felt addictive. But I didn't notice the shift in her behavior. The way she started giving instructions instead of asking. The way she began referring to me as she even when we argued. The way she smiled when I obeyed. By the end of the week she had a new rule. No more Arav inside this room. Then who am I? I whispered. She looked at me carefully. Anaya. The name wrapped around me like silk. And I didn't protest. That was my first surrender. But the real test was coming. Because she had plans beyond the bedroom. And I was about to lose more than just my name. You're coming with me. Where? To the mall. My blood froze. No. Her expression hardened. You trust me? Yes. Then prove it. The same trap. Different scale. She dressed me fully that afternoon. Not just salwar. Makeup. Foundation. Eyeliner. Lip color. My hands trembled as she applied mascara. Stop blinking, she scolded softly. When she was done, she turned the mirror toward me. I forgot to breathe. I didn't see a man pretending. I saw a shy girl staring back. Soft eyes. Delicate features. Fear. Hope. Identity crisis. I can't go outside like this. You can. And if someone recognizes me? She leaned closer. They won't see Arav. Her smile was unreadable. They'll see Anaya. The mall was loud. Bright. Unforgiving. Every step felt like walking on a stage. Kept my head down. Nina walked beside me confidently. Possessively. When a salesgirl approached, she smiled. My sister is shy. Can you show her some earrings? Sister. The word hit like thunder. But the girl nodded naturally. Of course. No suspicion. No laughter. Just normal. I tried on earrings with shaking fingers. The salesgirl adjusted one gently. You're very pretty, she said casually. There it was again. Pretty. This time it didn't hurt. It warmed. And that terrified me. Then it happened. I heard my name. Arav. My heart stopped. I turned. It was Kanal. College friend. His eyes scanned me. Confused. Then dismissive. Sorry, I thought you were someone else. He walked away. He didn't recognize me. I should have felt relieved. Instead, something inside me cracked. If he didn't see Arav. Was Arav still there? That night back home I broke down. I don't know who I am anymore, I cried. Nina held my chin firmly. You're becoming honest. Or disappearing. She looked at me for a long time. And for the first time I saw something dark flicker in her eyes. You think I'm doing this for you? My tears stopped. What do you mean? She stepped back. You humiliated me on our wedding night. I stared. I was scared. You couldn't even touch me. You trembled like I was a threat. Her voice sharpened. You made me feel unwanted. Understanding dawned slowly. This wasn't just discovery. It was revenge. You're punishing me. She didn't deny it. But she didn't confirm either. Instead she whispered. I'm correcting you. That was the moment I realized. This wasn't about freedom. It was about control. And I had willingly handed it to her. But even knowing that, when she called me Anaya, my heart still answered. I thought the mall was the worst it could get. I was wrong. Sit, Nina said, tapping the black leather salon chair. The beauty salon smelled of chemicals and perfume. Hair dryers roared. Women chatted casually about weddings and skincare routines. And I sat there in a pale blue kurti, hands folded in my lap, heart pounding like I was about to be executed. The stylist smiled warmly. What are we doing today? Before I could speak, Nina answered. Full makeover. She's too shy to ask. The word flowed so easily from Nina's mouth now. The stylist nodded excitedly. Bridal trial? Nina's lips curved slowly. Something like that. My throat dried. They washed my hair first. Fingers massaged my scalp gently. I closed my eyes, trying to disappear into the sensation. Felt nice. Too nice. Then came threading. I flinched at the first sharp sting. Relax, the woman scolded softly. Beauty hurts. Beauty hurts. The phrase echoed in my head like a verdict. Strands of my eyebrows fell away. My face began changing in the mirror without my consent. Foundation layered over my skin. Blush. Highlighter. Soft pink lipstick. They curled my hair slightly, letting it frame my face delicately. When they turned the chair toward the mirror, my breath stopped. I didn't see a boy in makeup. I saw a girl who looked unsure of herself. Soft. Fragile. Pretty. Nina stood behind me, eyes gleaming. There, she whispered near my ear. Now you look like you were meant to. Something inside me twisted painfully. Was she right? Or had I simply been broken carefully enough to fit this shape? Then came the humiliation. A group of girls near the manicure station started whispering. "She's so cute. Is she getting engaged?" I stared at my reflection, heart hammering. They thought I was a girl. Not pretending. Not joking. A real one. And instead of fear, I felt warmth. Acceptance. Validation. That scared me more than ridicule ever could. When we stepped outside, the sunlight hit my face. A man passing by held the door open for me. "After you." I hesitated. He smiled politely. I walked through. My pulse fluttered. A simple gesture. But it felt like a door closing behind my old life. Male privileges, invisible shields I had never noticed, were dissolving. No one bumped into me aggressively. No one expected me to speak loudly. No one looked at me as competition. They looked at me as something softer. And I hated how much I didn't hate it. That night I confronted her. "You enjoyed that," I said quietly. Nina removed her earrings calmly. "Enjoyed what?" "Watching them believe it." She finally looked at me. "And you didn't?" Silence. Because the truth was complicated. "I don't know what I'm feeling," I whispered. She stepped closer, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "You're feeling seen." "No. I'm feeling erased." Her expression shifted slightly. But not with sympathy. With calculation. "You were never comfortable as Arif," she said softly. "I'm just helping you stop lying." "And what if I want to decide that myself?" Her hand tightened on my chin. "For once in your life, stop being weak and choose." The word weak sliced deep. Because she wasn't wrong. I had avoided choices my entire life. Letting others decide my career. My marriage. My identity. Now she was forcing me to confront the one truth I had buried. And I didn't know if I should thank her. Or run. Later that week she introduced a new rule. No more men's clothes. Not even at home. My wardrobe changed overnight. Salwars. Skirts. Nightgowns. Lingerie I couldn't even look at without blushing. "Why this?" I asked, holding up a delicate piece of lace. She met my eyes steadily. "If you're going to become her, you don't get halfway." The word become echoed in my mind. Was this transformation? Or replacement? And then came the first crack in her control. It happened in the cafe. I was sitting alone while she ordered at the counter. A guy at the next table smiled at me. Not mocking. Interested. He was around my age. Warm eyes. Messy hair. "You look nervous," he said gently. I froze. I'm fine." "You're new here." I nodded automatically. He extended his hand. "I'm Kabir." The world seemed to tilt. "Kabir." I stared at his hand. For a moment I forgot everything. Forgot Nina. Forgot Arv. Forgot fear. I just saw a boy looking at me like I was worth noticing. And something inside me fluttered. When Nina returned and saw him smiling at me, her jaw tightened. Dangerous. Later that night she asked coldly, "Did you like the attention?" I hesitated. That was enough. Her eyes darkened. "Careful, Anaya," she whispered. The way she said my new name this time. It wasn't affectionate. It was a warning. And for the first time since this began, I wondered who was transforming whom. Because while she was reshaping my body and image, Kabir had done something with just a smile. He made me feel wanted. Not corrected. Not punished. But. And that single feeling was more powerful than all her control. But I didn't know yet. That Nina's true motive hadn't fully surfaced. And Kabir wasn't just an accident. He was about to become the spark that would shatter everything. Including my marriage. Kabir started appearing everywhere. At the cafe. Outside the mall bookstore. Even near our apartment complex once. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe the universe was testing how far I had drifted. The next time he approached, Nina wasn't with me. "You look different today," he said, studying my face. I was wearing a soft peach kurti. Minimal makeup. How? Less scared. The word made my breath hitch. No one had ever described me so accurately. Not as a man. Not as this in-between thing. "Can I ask you something?" he continued carefully. "What's your name?" My heart pounded violently. I had 2 answers. 2 lives. And choosing one felt like betrayal either way. "Anaya," I heard myself say. The lie slid out smoother than I expected. Or maybe it wasn't a lie anymore. He smiled. It suits you. My stomach flipped. As for the first time, the name felt like mine. That evening I stood before the mirror alone. I touched my cheek, my lips, the soft curve of eyeliner. Who are you? I whispered. The reflection didn't answer. But she didn't look fake. She looked conflicted. Human. And that terrified me more than Nina's dominance ever had. Because if this wasn't forced, if this wasn't manipulation, then it meant the truth had always been there. Waiting. When I told Nina about Kabir, I expected anger. Instead, she laughed softly. Good. I blinked. Good. Let him fall for you. Ice crawled up my spine. What are you planning? She stepped closer, brushing her thumb over my lipstick. You think this is about revenge? Her voice lowered. It's about proof. Proof of what? That you were never my husband. The words struck harder than a slap. You married a role, she continued calmly. I'm just peeling it off. And if I don't want to lose it? She looked at me long and hard. Then stopped smiling when he calls you beautiful. I couldn't argue. Because she was right. Kabir had called me beautiful once. Stiffly. Like it wasn't unusual. And instead of shame, I had felt proud. That was the moment everything began unraveling. But the real breaking point hadn't happened yet. It was coming. And when it did, I would have to choose. Not between two people, but between two selves. And only one of them could survive.